Ciao guys, welcome to another episode of the Personal PR Show. And today we're here with Javier from New York City. Hello Javier, how are you?
Doing fine.
Okay, what's the weather like in New York City, so far away from here, from Switzerland?
Okay, so right now we in the middle of spring. So right now, like in mid 70s, like 74. It's supposed to be 74 degrees today, and tomorrow it's like 80 degrees. So I think we're getting ready for this. We are in mid to spring right now.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's great. Spring in New York City is beautiful. Yes. Okay, also it was springtime in Italy as well. Just got back from Italy, but now here it's cold and gray again. And Zurich as
Damn.
usual. God, yes, so we envy you. We all want to be in New York City. Oh my God. So here we are to talk about the topic of how journalists see personal brands, right? Because here we talk about personal branding a lot here on this channel, Javier, but at the same time, you are a journalist. And actually, you are a journalist, a writer, and also a poet. So before we get talking about personal brands and how journalists see them, would you like to tell us a couple of things about you? Because I know that you have lots of outstanding achievements, Javier.
Yeah. I don't think we have enough time for that, but I'm gonna tell you the most important ones. So I recently graduated with my bachelor's. I'm a 15-time scholarship winner, which is a Harlem record so far. I'm on let's see. I won an award for when I was a writer in college. I won an award from one of my articles, the impact and influence of LeBron James. It won first place in Robert L. Vann Awards. It's like for college kids. So I was surprised with that, and also I am an award-winning poet. One of my poems, actually like have a poetry book right here. Get them on Amazon, eBay.
Oh my God.
But yeah, one of my poems, it's called A Voice from Harlem. It won honorable mention in the Writer's Digest 91st writing competition. So out of 30, I read it online. It said 3,000 people submitted. For honorable mention, 3,000 people submitted, like, and only one, like a couple. Some people out of them didn't win. So me being one of them, kind of it's very surprising. And I have some more. Like I've been featured in Insider. I think you've seen it. Other stuff, but yeah.
Oh my God, so many achievements, and you're so young still. How old are you?
Get that all the time. I'm 26. I just turned 26 this past month.
Crazy. I mean, is it like you've lived already 3 lives based on the achievements you already collected? Oh my God. Wow, so good. So you are a journalist, a writer, and a poet. But my question is, what is the profession that you love the most? What do you identify with the most? Do you feel like a first?
Me, cause I'm also an athlete, so I'm kind of four. So yeah, I play basketball. I have a award here. 20. Sorry, my bad. But 26. I won the 2018 Sportsmanship Award.
Oh my God.
So I plan to make it to the NBA one day. So I do a lot of things, and I also dance. But get back to your question. Poet. I think with the first. I think what I gravitate toward most is I can't really say because journalists kind of goes in with poetry. So and writing too. So it's kind of hard for me to distinguish the both. But I'll say the poetry and writing part. Because journalism, you just writing. You're looking at something from a different angle and trying to get it into your own and without any bias. But poetry is different. I just express myself and talk about my experiences. Journalism, I'm much more like detailed because like as you know, like in this day and time, it's a lot of we had to fact check a lot of things because people like to they like to clickbait and make you not seem like So with journalism, I'm much more professional because it's important. But with poetry, I'm much more like expressive. So I'll say I identify more with poetry more. But I'm also a journal. I'm still a journalist at hand because somebody told me this. One of my mentors. She told me like because when I was applying with scholarships, she was helping me. So, and she said yeah I sent her one of my drafts. She's like, I want to tell you something. You are such a good writer. I'm like, wow. So yes, that one.
That one. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. Awesome. And let's talk about today's topic, which is how journalists, and maybe we can also talk about writers and poets and everything that you want to talk about, athletes for that matter as well. But how do these professionals see personal brands? Because we know that personal branding is actually a mega trend that is happening, that has been happening over the past few years. And personal brands are understanding, actually, this is what I would like to kind of educate them on as well, but they're understanding it in themselves as well, that, you know, it's not enough to just produce content on their own channels, but they should also get third-party validation and third-party coverage, so to say, right? So this is where they start interacting with journalists, and so that they can really contribute, they can really add value to journalists, so that journalists can write interesting stories for their readership, right? So we know that it's always a matter of adding value to everybody, and in this case, to journalists as well. So is it something that you have noticed as a journalist? Are you getting approached by a lot of personal brands who could be, you know, consultants, coaches, therapists, whatever, who reach out to you in order to offer you a story that could be interesting for your readership?
I wouldn't say I don't have enough. I don't have a big following like that, like with people consulting me. But I would say like I have witnessed people getting. I have witnessed it through the other lens. Like I've seen people like based on my real time experience, I've seen like journalists get like approached by. I have one of my close friends. She's actually she's a sports journalist, like I trying to be, and she actually gets approached by athletes and like trying to promote their personal brand, like, hey, I got this new soda, I'm trying to promote this new sock or whatever, and because you know, personal branding is so important nowadays. Like your own name is a brand, so anything you do is representing of you, what you do. So like that, like, and also like in the professional world, like one of my other close mentors, she actually meets with professionals like CEOs, and she always tells me like that one of the things they always do is like promote yourself to the fullest, because if you don't do that, you're not fulfilling yourself. You're holding yourself back a little bit. And in this day and age, like back in the day, so we didn't have social media, so it wasn't that important. You just did word of mouth. They want putting out flyers. Like we still do that, but not to the extent like as social. But social media now, it's you can do anything. So I'll say like basically that.
Yeah, I understand. Yes, yes. It's very interesting to know your version of the story as well, of the trend as well, right? Because the trend has many, many aspects and many versions as well. Okay, that's awesome. But if you were to interview a personal brand, it could be a CEO of a startup, CEO of a corporation, it could be a coach, consultant, therapist, like the categories that we have mentioned. What are maybe 3 questions that you would ask them if you were to interview them, and to write, so to say, a portrait?
Can you repeat that? I kind of didn't understand it. Sorry.
Yeah, let's say that you are interviewing a personal brand, right? And they could be the founder of a startup, or they could be even the CEO of an established company as well, or they can be, I don't know, like a coach or a consultant, whatever, right? So you're there interviewing them, you're meeting them. What are 3 questions that you would ask them in order to write, you know, an article about them, to write, let's say, a kind of a portrait about them?
Oh, okay. So I will ask them. Okay, number one, I'm gonna ask them like, what is your profession? Because I don't know them, so I don't ask them to educate myself and the viewers. Secondly, I will ask them, what makes you stand out? What makes you different? And the third
Yeah.
one is like, the third one is the big one, like what advice can you give to others for sustain consistency? Because we can all achieve success, but then we come from here, then we go from here, and then we go from here again. So how do you maintain that successful image or likeness, as you would say? And then I would try to write that in a journalistic form, and then I would try to write that in a poetry form too. But that's a good question I would ask, because that's the most important questions. Like branding is very important. So I'll ask them that, because when you're a CEO, you're also a brand. Like Elon Musk, he's a brand right now. So
Totally, absolutely. Like he has more followers, he's more famous than actually the brands that he created. Like Tesla,
yeah,
and Tesla's very famous, but he has more followers than Tesla. It's better known than Tesla, right? It's crazy stuff. Absolutely. And I love question number 2 as well that you asked, which is what makes you stand out, right? So what is something for you that makes a personal brand, maybe a CEO, like you just mentioned, stand out? Maybe that origin story, that hero's journey, or like their mission, their contribution to the world. What is something that really, really impresses you, let's say?
I would say like a combination of the both. Like I'll say the origin story, like how they grew up and how they got there where they at. And the second one is like their workplace culture, because we know a lot of people that have they have like a humble beginnings and then they have this authentic success. But sometimes but you have these companies sometimes where you come over reports that saying that hey, like it's a toxic workplace culture and it's not helpful for the employees. Like my thing is, other than the origin story, which is great, I would see how are you treating our employees? What are their like? Do they get any benefits? Do they get any raises? What is like? What's the day to day like? Because it's like the CEO has to treat. I know it's cliche, but the CEO treats the CEO needs to treat everybody like this janitor. Like, if you get what I'm saying, like everybody needs to be treated the same. Doesn't matter if you're a hire or lawyer. I would look at the origin, like, and how you treating your employees and how the workplace is going, because you don't want to go to a place that you're not valued, you're not feel comfortable with. You want to go somewhere that it's like you're like everybody loves you. Even though people say that you're not there to make friends at your job, but it's true. But you still want to make feel comfortable and say that everybody like just a level of how would you say it? Like niceness, I guess.
Yes, oh my God. So good. Yeah, yeah, I love that. So it's very, very interesting. It's very useful for our audience to hear what you would find interesting, what you find outstanding in a personal brand, because this is how they understand how journalists think, and this is how they can craft messages that will be relevant and will be useful, to journalists when they approach them. So good, so good. Thank you so much for sharing. But we know as well that you are not only a journalist, an author, and a poet, Javier, but you are a personal brand yourself.
Yeah.
So would you think, because you have so many achievements and we know that these things make you stand out big time, but what would you say is the thing that makes you stand out as a person?
Because so I have my own LinkedIn page, and I have over like and I have over like 886 connections, and most of the people that look at my page, they said that hey, they said that hey, cause I have like 30 honors and 24 publications on it. So people say, wow, it's so amazing, and I'm like, and my thing is, like I said, I'm a personal brand. So the thing that makes me stand out is that, just for me coming overcoming the odds, I would guess I say like because I have humble beginnings coming up here, seeing police brutality. Like somebody got shot here the other day, next to my building. Like so, and overcoming those odds, graduating college, high school, getting scholarships because it's really hard. So I had one like I got 60 rejections, and I got graduate debt free 15 scholarships in a row, all that stuff, and then won my own book. So people say that's successful. So when I pitched the brands, like I pitched the insider, because I read the article on their website. So I kind of took something what you said, like to because you always post on your page like how to get more PR, and I'm like I have because the person said if you have a unique college story, please reach out. So I'm like, okay, let me reach out. I have a unique college story, and I thought they was not gonna read it because they have insider is big. You don't have time. So I got an email like 3 days later saying, hey, we want to go with your pitch. Like what? Oh, maybe inside like, hey, we paid $200. Story, and then got published the other day. But I would say like, can you go back to the question? I'm kind of rambling.
Oh my God. Oh my God. But Javier, you just mentioned your academic successes as well, and all the papers that you have published and so on. So my question is, would you say, I already know the answer. I mean, this is a rhetorical question, but I would still like to ask you in order to introduce the conversation. It is, do you see yourself as a thought leader?
Thought leader? Okay. I think I say kind of. People told me that I haven't thought about it that much, but I guess because I achieved I achieved so much. Like I didn't expect myself to be achieving this much at this age, anyways, because my goal was always to like, hey, I want to play professional basketball. I don't, excuse my name, I don't give a damn like, about academics at the moment, but I had to do it because it was private school, and but like we were saying, like I do see myself as a personal brand, because my name, when you search my name on Google, I'm actually a skateboarder, but that's not me. It's somebody in Brazil, it's some other place, but I guess as adult leader specifically, I guess I've been told that I've been told me this, that I should be a motivational speaker. I should do a TED talk, because I was talking to some guy the other like 2 months ago. He said, I was telling him about my story. He said, hey, you should do a TED talk. You have people will be so inspired by your story, how this and this and this. I'm like, yeah, but and then told me the cost. Like, damn, I can't afford that. But maybe when I get financially more secure, I might think about it. But like you said, I've been told I'm an adult leader. I mean, so.
I would say so as well, because like you're really active intellectually with all of your papers and academically as well. So every time that you have a paper, that you write a paper, you have a breakthrough idea, you're adding something to the body of knowledge of a particular field. And that by itself already makes you a thought leader, I would say.
Yeah, because mostly because as a minority, as an Afro-Latino male, I have an experience that other people don't have. Like, so when a Black Lives Matter thing happened, people generally white people, like, I don't they were like, we want to learn more about the Black experience, and me being this on my whole life, like seeing this on my whole life, people finally want to open their eyes, and like so when I was in my school, when I was in my last year of college, my couple first years in college, I joined the newspaper, and I told them the first day I want to write about opinion and sports, because they're the 2 important things in life. And me, when the Breonna Taylor thing happened, I wrote about that. And when Tyree Nichols happened, when Breonna Taylor, all those things happened, I wrote about that because it's part of my experience, and I see it on a daily basis. Like people like, hey, you bring race about everything. No, life is race. Like, race is a part of our life. If you don't see race, something's wrong with you. I'm sorry to say like that, but it's true. Like I'm a light skinned male. I'm light skinned Afro-Latino male. I'm not intimidating by any such. If you see me in the street, like, just walk by, but sometimes when I go in the store, if I wear a hoodie on, I go in the store. I'm not intimidating at all, as you can see right now. But if I wear a hoodie and I go in the store, I think I look like a dog for some reason. I don't know why, but it's like someone like that. But writing about something that's more important, like race is important, part of our lives, and me being that person, I want to, like, I actually have a blog I wrote, like, the voice for the voiceless, and I just wrote my experiences growing up and seeing that stuff. And now people experiencing it for the first time, like, oh my God, you do this all the time. Like, bro, it's my whole life. What are you talking about? but go back to your question. Yeah, it's really important.
Yeah, totally. Oh my God, it's so good. And Javier, we have 4 more minutes before we end today's conversation. My last question is actually, in my last question, I'd like to you to ask me a question. So actually the question goes, I'll explain to you. So the question goes, what is a question that I haven't asked you over the past 26 minutes, but I should have asked you? So you give me the question, I ask you the question, and then you give me the answer. This is the procedure.
Oh yeah, cause I watch your show. So one thing I would say, you don't actually like, what do I do in my free time? Because I even though I do all these titles, I have actually I have life outside of this. So I'll say that, like, what do I do? What's my passions outside of writing and stuff like that? But yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. So Javier, you do so many things, and everybody would think that you have no free time, but I have the feeling that you do have some free time. So the question is, what do you do in your free time?
Okay, so poetry a lot. I write poetry. I play basketball a lot. They call me Javi Buckets because I get buckets in the court. It's you know, my name's Javier, so Javi Buckets. Play that. Yeah, and I read. I like to read. Reading is one of my. I got that from my mom, actually. She's the one that told me how to read, and I still people, like, after high school, people stop reading for some reason. I don't know. After college, people stop reading. I read all the time.
Oh my
Like
God.
this is one of my favorite books to read right now. It's about how Steph Curry overcame adversity to become one of the best players in the NBA. And then
Wow.
I have one right here. No, I don't have time, but I have another book that I read. It's called The Secret to Success. It's about how this guy, who was homeless. He went from homeless to the #1 motivational speaker in the world right now.
Oh my God. What's his name?
Yes, Eric Thomas. If you just Google Eric Thomas, you will see him. It's called The Secret to Success. Yeah, so
Wow.
that's like, yeah, he went from homeless he went from homeless, kicked out of his house, eating from trash cans, to getting his PhD, his master's, to the #1 motivation speaker in the world, took it to Fortune 500 companies, focusing on NBA players, athletes, all that stuff. So I look to motivate, like I read that because I'm like, I'm in the same position you are. Like I come from a background, minority, seeing police brutality, my brothers and sisters getting murdered out there, and me trying to achieve things in my life, like so
Yeah.
like I see like so.
So you will be the next one writing such a book about success.
Yeah, I'm writing my memoir right now. I'm working my memoir right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Well,
wanted to write it. I wanted to write it when I wanted to write it the first time, but I didn't have the amount of money and time you had to spend on your memoir is too. It was too much for me. So I said, let me just write a poetry book. So I just took all the poems I wrote from my class and I put it into one thing. It took 18 days to write. Well, and so right now we're gonna work on my memoir. It's gonna take I don't know how it's gonna come out, but you better get it. It's gonna be fire.
yeah. Oh my God. Yes, keep us posted. Let us know when your memoir comes out, because then we will have to interview you again, Javier.
All right, appreciate it.
So good. Oh my God. Thank you so much for making time for us here on the Personal PR today on the Personal PR show. It has been a pleasure and we've learned so much about you, and congratulations on all of your achievements. As I said, this sounds like 3 lives, not just one life and only 26 years. That's crazy. Well done. Keep going this way. We'll be following you and cheering you on.
Make sure to follow me on all social medias: Instagram, Javi Buckets, Twitter, Javi Buckets, and LinkedIn, Javier Sarmiento Jr.
Absolutely. We'll be sure to include all of your links, yes, in the comment section here. Certainly. Perfect. Thank you so much, Javier, for your time. Take care and all the best. And bye, guys. I'll see you very, very soon for the next episode of the Personal PR Show. Ciao.